Good morning, Year 8. I hope that everybody is having a great week so far and that everybody is keeping well. This lesson today, you are going to continue with your biro drawing using mark making and obviously biro, and it should be of the exquisite corpse drawing that you did a few lessons ago. So last week you looked at some different mark making techniques, and then you would have labelled them. I've not labelled mine, just shown you. And then you started your biro drawing using the guidance in the previous video. So today I just want to give you a bit of a recap and talk you through a few pointers. So don't forget, what we're aiming for is completing a final piece, a really high quality, high detailed biro drawing, something like this, that shows your newly learned mark making skills. And obviously it should be of your exquisite corpse drawing, and it's inspired by the artist Olivia Lomenette-Gill, who created the artwork, the graphics, and invented some of the characters for Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. That could be something that you do this week, is watch that film if you can get hold of it. Also, some of the characters in Harry Potter are fantastic to think about, mythical creatures as well. So today, quick reminder, tips for working in biro. I'm going to go through that in a minute. The first thing I want to do actually is have a look at artist Kyle Tawney. So he is on Instagram. You can have a look further at his work, but he creates a slightly different style of biro drawing compared to Olivia Lomenette-Gill. His work is a lot more kind of loose and a lot more free. So he uses some controlled lines and also some looser lines. So if you look here, you can see he does a lot of shading around the outside of his drawings. It starts off very dark and then gets looser and lighter. So that could be one of the skills that you adapt today if you want to try something different. So he's not afraid to go very, very dark to give the drawings a bit more depth, as if they look more 3D. And then obviously he works into some of the details in really, really dark ways, using kind of like a wide crosshatch effect. But have a look at his Instagram if you fancy finding out more. So now we're going to do a bit of an analysis task to start off this lesson. So I've given you two drawings, one from Kyle Tawney and one from artists who we've looked at previously, Olivia Lomenette-Gill. So I want you to discuss the techniques and the mark making and the differences between these two images. So discuss both artists in a couple of sentences, discuss their biro drawings, and then you can do a compare and contrast and say what's different, what makes each of them different. And then you can say whether you like them or dislike them and why. So that's the analysis task. That can be the task you start off with today. That will test your learning from the previous lesson and from the beginning of this lesson. So then a few tips to be able to continue and complete your biro drawing to the highest standard today. So build it up in layers. Something I did mention previously. Build it up in layers. So for example, start really light and delicate, and then you can get darker over the top, because obviously if it's dark already like this, you're not going to be able to get any lighter. But if you start this light by pressing really softly, you can then build the layers on top by pressing harder. So consider that. Even if you're cross-hatching, work really lightly and loosely, and then you can overlap to build up the darker effect and the texture, like so. So that is a really, really good technique. I want to make sure that you understand today. Don't try to erase. Obviously, biro will not rub out easily. If you do get water on it, it might smudge, so be careful. Try to keep the page clean. Obviously, crosshatch is a technique that we looked at last week, so continue to use that technique. It works very, very well, and it works to fill the space a lot quicker than if you were to just colour in. So as you can see here, it works very quickly, whereas if I'm just to colour in an area like this, it takes a long time. Think about how you're creating the shading within your mythical forms your mythical creature. Also, don't use dots. It will take you an absolute age if you use dots. Use circular motions like so, like this, rather than dotting like this, because it will just take a very long time working in ballpoint pen or biro. Another tip, be patient. This task does take a long time. You might have only done a third of your work. If you do get to the end of this lesson and your work is looking great but you're not finished, that's fine. Just send me a progress photo and then we'll discuss further some time to complete it. This has probably taken me around 30 minutes to complete so far. So it does take a long time working in biro to get it up to scratch. That is okay. Just make sure you send me a progress photo. And finally, avoid blotching, something which I didn't mention last week, but I think is very useful. Blotching, so when you're drawing with a biro for a long period of time, sometimes the ink can collect in the nib of your pen here, and it can kind of dry and create, you can see some on mine actually, create like a layer of ink. That might affect your drawing, so just give it a wipe on a bit of paper, and then it should remove from the nib. Give it a wipe the tissue or a bit of paper. That will clean it, because you don't want it to ruin your work. Hopefully that's clear. Really, really quick video today, because I just want you to get on with this task. Don't forget, the expectation by the end of this lesson is to create an incredible biro drawing, and it could be inspired of either of the two artists that you've looked at, but it must be based on a mythical creature, like the one you would have drawn when we did the exquisite drawing task at the beginning. So whatever mythical creature you've invented, hopefully it'll be finished today. If not, please just send me a progress photo. You should get more done than this, because I've only spent half an hour on this. You will have had a good hour and a half on this task, hopefully, by the end of the lesson. So take care, have a great week, and I will catch up with you soon. You're right. Bye.